Hello and welcome to the next video on my request list. Now this is another life purpose video and it was requested by someone who is a life path master 11, but they were born on the 7th, the 16th and the 25th. Now I'm focusing on the main numbers, the 11 and the 7, but I have other videos on my channel if you want to dig deeper into your sublessons, if you're a 2, 9, 11, or if you were born on the 16th or the 25th. But this video focuses on the most important information for you in this lifetime if you're a life path 11 and you're a birthday number 7. Now what I'm going to do first is break down the lessons of the life path 11, because this is your most important energy. It's 90% your focus, with the 7 being 10% your focus. So it's saying learn to be an 11 but bring in the energies of the 7 too. Now this purpose is a very, very, very spiritual one, because the 11 is the spiritual healer and the illuminator, and the 7 is about walking a spiritual path and trusting the soul within you. So someone with this purpose, with a life path 11 and a birthday 7, are here to walk a very spiritual life and heal the world with their spirituality and their wisdom. And that's the wisdom that they learn and the wisdom that they channel from spirit. Now what I'm doing now is breaking down the tasks and the social tasks of the 11 for you to really analyze which lessons that you need to work harder on and which lessons that you're finding more easy, and to help you understand your struggles in this lifetime. Now, if you're a life path 11, this is your focus, and you're here to develop a daily connection with source energy or source consciousness in daily spiritual practice to help you channel messages to illuminate the world. Now, none of this is going to be easy because it's your life purpose and the next stage in your evolution. So if you're here to develop daily connection to source and spirituality and have daily spiritual practice, this isn't going to be an easy thing for you. You know, you may avoid spirituality altogether. You may even disregard the messages and ideas that are channeled to you and do nothing with them. Now that's often because of energetic overwhelm, lack of confidence, or lack of understanding in what you're here to be, hence this video. So daily connection to source energy, walking that spiritual path in the 7, which we're going to get to. Daily spiritual practice is vital for you, and learning spiritual wisdom from research and books and information, but mostly from channeling information, because your soul already knows all this information so that you can heal and make positive changes in this world. You're here also to develop the ability to handle the intense master energy that bombards you daily, because you're an old soul. You've come with a master energy, so you have huge amounts of energy hitting you daily, which will cause things like energetic overwhelm, anxiety, nervous tension, even to the point where some 11s struggle as soon as they wake up in the morning and struggle to even get up in the morning, due to all this unmanaged energy that is hitting them. So daily spiritual practice, exercise, affirmations, and may need to be done several times a day to help you to handle this huge energy. So if you do suffer from anxiety, overwhelm, nervous tension, oversensitivity, it's one of the lessons that you're here to get through. It is a struggle that you are meant to have, and it's about your daily connection to source, managing the energy that you have, and getting through any anxiety to be able to not only channel the ideas that you have, but to manifest them on earth to create that healing. So daily spiritual practice again is going to be vital. Exercise, affirmations, visualizations to help you to manage that energy and channel it into action and manifestation of your ideas and messages that you channel and learn through books and research. You're also here as a sensitive to be psychic and highly intuitive, but sensitive to the needs of others, because remember, you're here to be a healer and to have an attitude of service. But again, not going to be an easy thing with the avoidance of spirituality, not dealing with your messages, energetic overwhelm, anxiety, nervous tension. You may have struggles with your intuition. You may be overly intuitive, overly empathic, causing you to be sensitive, or you may totally ignore your intuition, totally ignore your empathy, and be sensitive to your environment without managing it, easily overwhelmed, easily exhausted, and then you achieve nothing in this world because of all these struggles. So developing your intuition and being more sensitive to the needs of others and having that attitude of service and healing is vital for you as an 11. You're here to learn to nurture the message or the idea that you illuminate, because you're here to be a messenger, an illuminator, in order to heal others, to nurture the message or the idea and progress it with skillful planning and team building. And that's going to be a mixture of spiritual practice, again, managing your master energy and developing your intuition and your psychic abilities and learning to manage them so that you can stay focused on the message to progress it. But you may have an inability, due to all the struggles I've already said, inability to focus enough to make plans, lack of social confidence even to communicate with anyone or build any effective teams to help you to achieve your and express your messages in this world. So for all those reasons I've said, it's important that you focus on each and every message and idea that comes to you so that you can use it to bring positive change and healing, one person at a time, one group at a time. You may struggle as well with your confidence. Ones struggle with their confidence, but double ones, confidence is their nemesis. And because they're here to change the world, a lot of people will struggle with the change that they bring and put them down and put them back in their box and tell them that they're mad or weird. Just like when you were at school, you might have been considered weird because you were an older soul and you preferred being around the adults than around the children. But you're here to develop that confidence, to learn to confidently express your uniqueness, and you are very unique to the world with your world-changing messages so that you can illuminate the world with your messages and ideas. But you're going to have issues, like I said, with your confidence. You're either going to be underconfident, craving validation from others, allowing people's opinions to put you under your rock when you should be disregarding them and being proud of your uniqueness, proud of your ideas and proud of the change that you bring. Or sometimes, less likely, but sometimes you can be overconfident and aggressive, and it's just a balance in that confidence needed and using that to support you in bringing your messages and ideas to this world. And trusting your intuition and the soul within you will really support your confidence. And I'm hoping the contents of this video will confirm to you that you're meant to bring change, you're meant to be a healer, and you're not meant to allow people's opinions to stop you, because you must confidently express what you channel and what you learn in order to bring healing and change people's lives for the better. That's really, really important for you. You're here to learn to stay focused and manifest your unique ideas, which you're going to find difficult because you're constantly bombarded with ideas and messages, and some of those ideas might be unfeasible. You know, the sheer amount of ideas and messages that hit you daily can confuse you and overwhelm you, and you can have idea and message after message after message and not be able to focus on any of them long enough to create any healing from them. And sometimes 11s, they're in the clouds a lot and their ideas can be a bit unfeasible for the time. They can want to bring world peace when the world isn't really ready to do that, because it's a world of learning. You could lose interest quickly after the initial idea because there's so many other ideas hitting you daily. But you've got to learn to stay focused. Spiritual practice will help you to do that, to stay focused and manifest on each unique idea or message so that you can use it to heal and illuminate the world. Because when you illuminate the world with new information, new messages, new ideas, it helps people to move forward and it heals their soul. You're here to be a brave risk taker, make courageous decisions, take calculated risks to progress. Because when you're bringing change, it is a difficult process because a lot of people don't like change, or they might think you're weird, especially in this materialistic world that we live in, where we're taught that spirituality and anything you can't see is not real or not true. And you might be too fearful, too underconfident, too overwhelmed to take any kind of risks or to act at all, keeping you stuck in one place. So you need to be braver, to trust the soul within you, trust your uniqueness, trust that you're here to bring change and healing. Be brave, take intuitive risks and make courageous decisions, and take calculated and intuitive risks to progress. And you've got to act on those ideas that are unacted on, they go nowhere. So you're here to learn to be a doer, action orientated, but again, overwhelm, underconfidence, having too many ideas, all of the difficulties that I've already mentioned could lead to inaction, laziness, overwhelm, procrastination, which again is something you need to get through. You've got to learn to be determined to succeed with your innovation and your healing messages. So you need a balanced determination to succeed, to get your message out there, to get your ideas out there to as many people as possible, or you're illuminating messages to the right person to bring healing to them, one person or group at a time. But again, due to all the issues I've said, you might have apathy, lack of motivation, low self-esteem, negative thinking, overwhelm that could stop you from actually doing this. And you also need to learn as a healer and a server of the world to be dependable, to get things done, like I said, to take action. But you're in the clouds energy, your intense energy that hits you daily, the amount of ideas that hit you daily can make you chaotic, uncommitted, even forgetful, or overly dependable on the other side of the score, doing too much for others and not enough for your healing ideas, taking on too much work that isn't going to be useful to heal the world, not managing your own health and happiness, and not having the boundaries in place. Socially, like I said, you've got to develop a confident, strong inner compass and trust your intuition over others. You do not need a validation from others. You do not need people's opinions holding you down. It's important that you still go ahead with your intuitive ideas and with the messages that you channel. But again, underconfidence, craving validation from others and allowing people's opinions to stop you from sharing and illuminating the world, causing you to hide your messages and ideas, especially if they're not achieved well. That's something you need to get through. You've got to learn to be happy, to shake people's comfort zone, to challenge people's ideas of what is true and what is, because you're here to bring change, to evolve this world. So it's important that you don't allow dissension or bad opinions of others to stop you from doing that. But fear of dissension from others could make you hide your ideas and stay stuck, and, with low confidence and energetic overwhelm, it can really stop you from getting your ideas out there. And you may want to do things by yourself a lot, but you're here to learn to be interdependent, giving and receiving help in a balanced way. But you might give too much help And this will cause exhaustion and resentment, and you may fail to ask for help or gain help from others because you feel it's only you that should be helping, or you feel that you should do it all by yourself. So allow others to help you as much as you want to help them. That is really important. And you need boundaries. Otherwise, people are going to be on your case all the time because your energy exudes help, healing and service. You need balanced assertiveness to demand healthy boundaries on what and how much you will do for others. It's important that you don't allow yourself to be a shapeshifter to please others, losing yourself and your own identity, neglecting your own needs to your own detriment. That is important that you don't do that, because you need boundaries. You need to look after yourself as much. A healer cannot heal if they are sick. You cannot bring wellness if you are not well. So it's vital that your help and healing of others is managed with boundaries so that you stay healthy and looked after yourself. It is not selfish to look after yourself. It is actually selfless, because like I said, you can't help others if you are not well. Okay, learn to be supportive and perceptive, an empathic parental kind of leader when pushing your ideas and messages out there. Firm when needed and fair when needed. But 11 struggled with their confidence across the board, even their social confidence, and it can make them distant, uninterested, unsupportive to a big degree, and certainly not a supportive leader if they allow it, or lack of confidence to assert their leadership, or even overwhelm that stops everything that you're not managing with that master energy that hits you daily. You're here to be of service, to be responsible to others and the team, to work with your family and your team in order to bring love and healing and illuminate the world. But sometimes an 11-2 that isn't managing their energy, that doesn't have boundaries in place, can actually be quite a drama queen, sometimes disruptive of the group, especially if you feel taken advantage of or treated badly, or you feel over emotional and you're not managing that. You're here to be responsible and dependable and manage that so that you can be an excellent team player and family member as well. You've got to develop excellent social skills, be able to widen your social circle, and most importantly, deepen your relationships so that people trust you to listen to your messages and to take on the healing that you bring them. But again, low confidence, being easily overwhelmed, the noise and chaos of so many people when you're in social situations can actually be of a detriment to you. So managing your sensitivity with, daily spiritual practice and other techniques that you can use to do that will help you to manage people so that you can be in social situations, so that you can widen and deepen your relationships. But don't let overwhelm, low confidence and sensitivity hold you back, because remember, you're not here to be on your own. You're here to be a healer. You must learn to be skilled and a tactful mediator, because you bring change. You bring ideas that might put a bit of a cat amongst the pigeons. So you might bring disruption with your new messages and ideas, but then you've got to learn to be the mediator. So it's like you can sometimes create conflict with your ideas, but when people realize that these ideas are good, many of people will support you, but others may struggle and it might cause conflict. So you're here to not only bring that change and that disruption, but also to mediate it afterwards, to calm and resolve conflict. But again, due to all the struggles I've mentioned and oversensitivity, low confidence, drama queen mentality, it can make you run away from conflict and leave issues unresolved. And leaving issues unresolved and sometimes being distant and struggling with your relationships can make you struggle with your love relationships, long-term relationships in your life. You're here to develop a balanced need for love, good relationship maintenance, for relationship happiness and longevity. Many 11s struggle with long-term relationships, and this can be exacerbated by the 7, because the 7 is quite happy to be alone and they don't really need relationships in their lives. So it's a struggle for this purpose. Sometimes you might find yourself struggling to hold down long-term relationships, struggling to maintain close, loving, long-term bonds with people, being either emotionally distant or overly smothering with unrealistic expectations. And you need to manage that so you can be around others in a very balanced way, so that when you're dealing with your ideas and messages, you're present, and when you're with your family or your team, you are fully present, and learning to make sure that both of them are taken care of. That is important. Now, to be a Life Path Master 11-2, that's the most common of the Life Path 11s, and there are many birthdays that can cause that. Someone born on the 7th of January 2001 is an 11, the 5th of May 1972 is an 11, and there are many, many more. Remember, you have to take each element of your date of birth and reduce them to a single digit or master number before you add those 3 digits up. Less common is the 2, 9, 11, and that's for someone that has a master energy at least one element of their life path, like the 6th of January, which is 6 and 1, 1984, which is a master 22 year, that would make you a 2, 9, 11, or the 9th of September 2009 would be an 11 energy. So one of the elements of your date of birth needs to be a master energy for you to be a 2, 9, 11. Even rarer is the 3811, Prince Charles, or should I say King Charles in the UK is a 3811, and he has 2 elements in his date of birth that are master energies. Even the date of birth, the 11th master energy of May, which is a 5, and 1975, which is master 22. So there's 2 master numbers there. That makes someone a 3811. Or the 5th of November 1993, you have the 5, November is the 11, and 1993 is 22, and those added together will add up to 38, which makes 3811. And even rarer still, you would need to be a 4711, 2 22s in the 3 elements of your date of birth. So for example, seeing as the month only goes up to 12, you would have to be born on the 22nd day of any month, and you would need to be born in a 22 year. For example, the 22nd of March 1966 is a 4711, or the 22nd of March 1984 is a 4711, and that is the most rarest of the master 11s. Now, that is what you're here to do. You're here to be an 11, and that is the most important element. But you have a little bit of flavour you need to add in the 7. So when you're a birthday number 7 with a master 11 life path, you're here to fundamentally be an 11, but bring in a flavour of the 7. Now I'm focusing on the 7 energy, and remember, if you were born on the 16th or 25th, watch those videos on my channel for the 167 and the 257 to really dig deeper. But I'm talking about the most important energy here. So the birthday number 7, like the 11, here to be spiritual, here to develop total connection and faith, fundamentally, most importantly, in your intuitive wisdom, to trust the soul within you. So whatever gut feelings you have, whatever emotional snippets you have that make you think a certain way, whatever cognitive things that come to you, it's important that you listen, trust and act on your intuitive wisdom. But as a 7, especially with the 11 as well, you might overthink, you might overanalyze, you might second guess your intuition, you might bring the world and worldly opinions in too much. So it's important that you focus and trust the soul within you. If it feels right, If you know it's right in your gut and you can't put your finger on it, then you're right. And if you know it's wrong, if you feel it's wrong, even if someone looks good on paper and other people say they're good, if you feel it's wrong, you must trust that. Follow your inner guidance. It's vital, not just for the 7, but also for the 11. And you're here to trust that the universe is not against you. You know, the world is a mix of light and dark, and you're here to trust that the universe exists in perfect balance for your experience and learning. If the world was a utopia and if everybody was lovely, we would learn nothing and nothing would change, nothing would evolve. The world is a mix of light and dark for a reason, and you need to understand that it exists in perfect balance for your experience, your learning, and your evolution. But you might mistrust the world. You might feel that the world is against you. You might mistrust yourself, mistrust those around you, and certainly mistrust the world. Many 7s can get very fearful and end up, it's just conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory, which makes them live in a sense of fear. And that's important that you don't do that. You need to understand that the world is both light and both dark, and just learn from the darkness so that you can be more in the light. That's very important. You're here to prioritize, not outer success with the 7, even though the 11 says heal the world. You've got to deal with your inner self first. You can't heal the world if you're not healed. It's vital. So prioritize your inner development, your self-discovery, and your spiritual development. But because this is something you're here to do, you may disconnect from spirituality. You may not understand yourself. You may not develop yourself spiritually, or you may disconnect totally with the outside world, be overly spiritual and isolate you from the world. Remember, you're here to be a healer. And with the sensitivities of the 11 and the self-isolation of the 7, it's important that you're not isolating yourself from the world, because even though you're here to prioritize your inner development, you're here to be around others, develop your social skills, and to heal others, illuminate them with your messages, not to isolate yourself. That is not a healthy thing to do. So not only in the 11 are you here to channel new ideas and messages to heal and illuminate, you're also here to be a researcher, a thinker in the 7, a studier of other people's theories, and to whatever you research, whatever you study, some of it's going to feel right with your intuition and some of it not. So you have to learn to filter what you read in the world, what you research from theorists or books or websites. Filter it through your intuition so that you can understand what is true. So research, think, study, and then balance your logic and intuition by filtering your research through your intuitive wisdom. But you might struggle enough to focus enough on any one subject. The 11 will do that, and so does the 7. So focus is really important and a major difficulty for you. Focusing enough on any one research subject long enough to attain progression, and learning not to subordinate your intuition and understanding what's the truth and what is not without overthinking or allowing your ego or your toddler brain in. Your ego should take second fiddle to your intuition. So research and learn, but only use what feels right to you, what you know to be true in the soul within you. And focus on one theory, topic or idea long enough to develop it further. This is a difficulty in the 11 too, because you can be interested in so many esoteric subjects. You can have so many ideas and messages hit you from the 11 that you find it hard to focus and develop anything. Daily spiritual practice, visualization, managing your overwhelm and confidence, and working hard to stay focused on one idea at a time so that you can bring it forward, so that you can illuminate and heal the world and act on your ideas. You're here to be a free thinker. The 11 is here to bring change. The 11 is not here to do what everyone else does. They're here to be a bit different, to be unique. And in the 7, you're also here to be a free thinker, totally uninterested in popular culture, more interested in looking beyond the veil for wisdom and information that heals. But you could be disconnected from the interests and attitude of the masses totally, or you could focus too much on the world and the interests of the masses, so that you're not being the person that you're here today, and a change agent, which is what you're here to be, a healer, a free thinker, someone that looks and researches beyond the veil and brings the real truth out, but not to bring fear, to bring healing to others. You're here to be independent, self-reliant, but also interdependent. You're here to be interdependent in the 11 and in the 7, but you may want to do everything alone. You may be overly independent. Many 7s prefer to work alone, but it's important that they're interdependent, that they don't isolate themselves, that they give and receive in equal measure. And not only that, emotions. The 11 and the 7 can struggle to reconcile their deep emotions. They can present to others as aloof and emotionally disconnected to others, when actually inside they're an absolute well of emotions. And instead of using that to connect with others so that they can heal them, they hold it in and come across to others as aloof and emotionless, and that could not be further than the truth. And many 7s and 11s will present to others as very aloof and uninterested, which doesn't help their relationships at times. So you're here to learn to reconcile your deep emotions, emotionally express and connect with others, so that you can heal them, and so that you're not isolating yourself beyond what is healthy, because you need to balance your alone and your social time. Your tendency to isolate yourself beyond what is healthy will make you unhealthy, and it will certainly stop you from illuminating the world with your messages, healing others, developing your long-term relationships, and working with others in order to manifest your ideas. Now, I hope you found my video useful. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe and follow me on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and keep up to date with my latest posts. If you would like a reading from me where I bring together all your numbers and show you what you're here to do, what your talents are, what your motivation is, then email me at katie@soulexplorer.net, or if you want to, you can contact me on Facebook on my Soul Explorer numerology page, my Instagram, Soul Explorer Kate, and I'm also on LinkedIn and Twitter. If you want to chat to me on my Guru, I'm not on there often. You would have to email me on that one. I'm often on my Guru, and I can give ad hoc numerology and tarot information for you as you need it. And if you just want to support me and my video making, I'm on Ko-Fi and Patreon, and the links to that are in the description box. Now, I hope you found this video useful, but whatever I've said, if some of it or any of it doesn't ring true to the soul within you, then follow your soul within you, because only your intuition knows what is best for you.